All right, I'm out here. It is Thursday. I think it's the 12th, and it's about 3 p.m. So I'm trying to do graft thing with the scions that Diva Jones sent me. So I got one there, and I have one, oh, here. So I'm gonna do 2 more on this back tree. This tree has fruit on it. This is the first time I've seen it have so much fruit on it. So let me do the other 2. All right, this is number 3, and this is number 4. I'm gonna have to mark them because I grafted from the front tree to the back tree earlier this spring, and I couldn't tell you where those graft points are. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'll mark it so I don't forget where they are, and I'll keep you updated. Good everything. It is Tuesday. It's around 8:45. It's the 17th of June, and it is about 75 degrees. So I'm gonna do a bit of harvesting today on some of my collards and my lettuces. So let's get it started. Got my peanuts coming up here. These are most likely the Zapotec tomatoes. I have another tomato here. So the radishes have bolted, and they're putting on their seed pods. However, these are not the rat tail radishes. Got me a few to snack on. And the Johanska berry is doing fine. Picked me a few. It has a unique taste. I think I need to wait for them to get a little bit riper. But that's how they're looking. So this is the harvest. It has lettuce in there, mustards, collards, and I'm gonna get those washed and bagged up. Now these pods, you do get the taste of radish, but it's not as spicy. So I don't think these are the rat tail options. So I come out here every evening. It's now around 8:30, checking on the bees. And this hive, as you can see, everybody is tucked in, ready for bed. However, this hive, this one is quiet. Good everything. It is June 23rd, Monday. It's about 92 degrees, and we're expecting rain tomorrow. So I figured I'd come out here, utilize my fertilizing water that I made in those buckets over there, and get some stuff fertilized. My plants with the homemade fertilizer water that I made maybe 2-3 weeks ago when I cut the shrub down by the propane tank, and I will tell you this, it is funky. So all right, so let me show you what this thing looked like. As you can see, so when I say funky, I mean funky. Now we've been getting so much rain that the need to come out here and hand water hasn't been necessary, but I want to get this stuff used up and get some fertilizing into these plants, so try to make them a bit stronger. So everything is growing good. We've had high temps, like I'm sure many other people have. The acorn squash is doing well. The watermelon and the cantaloupe are poking their heads out, so along with the beans. But I'm gonna do a fertilizing treatment right now. And yeah, like I said, it's gonna rain again tomorrow and at least 2 more times during the week. Good everything. It is Tuesday, June the 24th, about 3:30 in the afternoon, 82 degrees, very humid. We had rain majority of the morning, and I'm out here harvesting my first successful harvest of Johansta berries. So what does a Johansta berry taste like? It tastes to be a cross between a currant and a gooseberry. It's very tart, and I think it would work in a jam or jelly preserve, that kind of thing. So what's been going on in the garden? I'm noticing that the June beetles are coming out, starting to attack my raspberry plants, so I'm gonna come out here and spray. However, I did notice that my raspberry plant has started to bud out. However, I don't know if these are gonna make it, but yeah, it started to put on some fruit. First year seeing so many. And the strawberry plant that I have here has also started to put out some flowers, so maybe I'll get a strawberry or two this year. Now, since the fig had opted not to come back, I had some store-bought potatoes that I put in here, and that's what's growing up around here. And I'm getting some premature goji berries that are not going to make it. However, I do have a lot around the base of this plant that I need to harvest. So the goji is doing fine. Now, other than the 2 or 3 honeyberries that I got off of this plant a few weeks ago, I haven't seen anything. I think I did put some potatoes as well in the base of this, so they're looking good. But no more honeyberries. Now I'm over here on the yam bed, or in the yam bed I should say, and I'm trying to get the vines to go up this tree. Now, I probably should not have planted them with the potatoes, but I wasn't sure how they would do this year, since last year they didn't do well for me, and I didn't want the space to go to waste. So I'm trying to untangle them and get them to trellis up in this area. So if it's one thing I'm sure of, is that the yams in this bed have definitely taken off, so happy about that. This amaranth though, it's getting on my nerves. Now let's talk this catch-all bed. As you can see, the sorrel is doing well. This is that amaranth as well, or perhaps maybe even the callaloo. But what I do know is that it's taking over the bed, and I'm gonna just pull these weeds, sorry about that, and have them compost in place. I also have some peanuts growing in here, but this stuff here is all weeds. And the thing about it, those June bugs, they don't go to the weeds like the amaranth and mess with those. They go to all of your crops, which is annoying. So I'm pretty much gonna weed as I go in this area. All right, so now in this area we got the cucumbers have started to do its thing, getting them trellis. Now this, I'm sure, is supposed to be eggplant, but it's giving me okra vibes. So we'll see what becomes of them. But all in all, I'm happy with the cucumbers. To the sugar snap peas, They're doing good. Started to put on flowers and they're climbing their way up successfully. So I'm pleased with this bed. Bush beans also. They've trellised their way up and doing well. So that's how they're looking. Looks like I have a late starter right there, but they managed to find their way up the trellis area here. Now as to the collards and the mustards in this bed, they've gone to seed, which was basically the intent when I planted them, because I knew they were getting a late start. However, these are the Anastasies, and they're pale in color. I don't know, maybe they're getting too much rain, but I'm gonna come and either pull or trim back these collards some if I don't collect seeds from them in a timely manner. Try to free up some room for these Anastasies, because I have some cages I could put in this bed. This bed with the variety of lettuces, I harvested from them earlier this week. Took that to the food pantry, and as you could tell, I could harvest again from them. This is one of the tomatoes. Now I will say this, and this is some peanuts, and this is another tomato. So these might be the Zapotecs, because as you can see when you look at the base, there's a whole bunch of seeds that I probably just dropped there, and that's what they're doing. Yeah, and I probably should thin them out. Let me think on that. This one, however, I'm thinking is just a store-bought grape tomato that I had a few that were turning because I didn't eat it in a timely manner, and I think I just brought them out here and stuck them in the ground, and I think this is what that is. Or it could be a volunteer from last year, because last year I had tomatoes in this bed. And here is a closer look at the watermelon and the cantaloupe bed. They're looking good. Got a late bloomer here. I'm trying to pick everything I can when I see it in this bed, especially ground cherry related, because honestly I don't want any ground cherries this year. I am not complaining about the rain, because 2 summers ago we were in a drought. This year we're just, rain is doing its thing, so I'm not complaining. I'm thankful for that. This is how the sweet potatoes are doing. The 2 that I had in these cinder blocks, I don't think they made it. However, this one did, and everybody's doing good. I don't know, but the herbs so much. The parsley, this one, as you could tell, is looking good. However, a few other things that I planted in these cinder blocks either are late to show up or didn't survive. This says it's cilantro, so maybe I have a cilantro coming up there. Alright, so I'm a little peeved because yesterday when I watered here, this was not how the soil looks, so something was in here digging. Now, that looks like a pepper plant still. That looks like a pepper plant. And I believe my ahi dose was in this pot. As you can tell, I can't even see where the sign is. So something has been digging in this bed. There's a closer look at the okras. And something is eating the leaves. So once I finish with this, I'm gonna go and do a spray job. Carrots are looking good and lush. And pippin doing good. The celeries are doing good. Horseradish. This is the fenugreek doing good. This is the ginseng doing good. And Borage is doing good. The celery in this bed is doing good. Something is eating this horseradish. And the ashwagandha, nothing really on that one. And I did reseed it at one point, but still no success. And here is the anise hyssop. It has some weeds in it, but I'm sure there's some anise hyssop in there, but we'll keep an eye on that. Now the beets that was planted in this bed, they're all bolted, and as you could see, I'm getting flowers, so we should get seeds soon. Fish pepper, as you could tell by the striations on the leaves. This one, however, which is the cayenne red, and I don't think these are peppers. I think these are ground cherries. Now this is supposed to be a rose compollo. I think this one is, but these giving me ground cherry vibes. And this one I have chili and Creola Stella. I don't know what that is. Those look like weed, but we'll see what they do. Something just ate that down to the nub. This I have jalapeno and a variety of hot peppers. They're looking good. And in this one, I think I went with the Scotch bonnet and a habanero, so that's fine. This was the radishes and the bell peppers, so that's okay over there. Now the stuff here at this spot, the leaves I had a broccoli rabe. This is going to seed. That is the Brussels sprouts. Damaged leaved. I think I have cauliflower here. The Swiss chard is looking good. The kale is looking good, so that's good. And the acorn squash is looking good. I had carrots in this bed last year, and I'm spotting a carrot right there. But yeah, acorn squash is doing well. Now last but not least, we need to look at the honeydew melon, because I put a few in this bed along with my nasturtiums. So that's what we got. This one right here. It doesn't pay to weed, I tell you. And that's one. Oh, this is another one looking good. This is the third one. And got a volunteer zinnia from last year. This is weed. Oh, and here we go, the fourth one. So they're doing just fine. Now as to the corn, I decided to do the two-system method, which is corn and beans. But some of these bags have peas in it, so it got a little windy the other day. I need to come and dress it with some more soil so you can see I have beans or peas in the middle of these corn, and they are sprouted and doing just fine. So I think I'm gonna go do a bit of spraying, and I'll catch back up with you.